Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you this full face of all Wet n Wild makeup. I had so much fun creating this today. A lot of these products I already own and love, and I think it is so amazing that Wet n Wild is not only cruelty free, but they are so affordable with such great quality products. So if you would like to see how I get this full face of Wet n Wild makeup, then just keep watching. Okay, so as you can see, I already did my brows and I filled them in with the Salon Perfect One and Done Brow Pomade. And I set them with the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. And my eyes are also primed. I used the Kat Von D eyeshadow primer. So now I'm going to go ahead and set that eyeshadow base. I'm going to be taking the Wet n Wild Au Naturel Nude Awakening palette. This is what it looks like. It's just a great mauve toned palette. I've never used this before, and I'm just going to take this shade right here and set my primer. I'm going to be taking a Wet n Wild blending brush, and I just want to set that so that way all the other shades blend perfectly on top. If the primer is too tacky, sometimes they don't blend very well. Okay, so as you can see, I have one eye done just so that you can see what it's going to look like and I could kind of figure out what I wanted to do here. So what I'm going to do is take this taupe shade right here, and I'm just going to put this in the upper crease and transition area. This will really help to blend out that deeper shade that you can see on the outer corner. You want to make sure you really get it into this inner corner area. What I like to do is kind of turn my head. That way you can really fit the brush right in there. So now that we have a pretty good layer, I am going to go into this deep purple shade. And I'm going to use this in the crease and outer corner to add some depth. I'm also going to pack this on the outer third of the lid just so that any shades that we put on top really have that deep base to go off of. Going in with that original blending brush and no additional product, I'm just going to blend that out. So that looks pretty good for now. We're going to go back in after and add some more product so that's a little bit deeper. But what I'm going to do next is go into this pink shimmer shade right here, and I'm going to put that all over the lid. I'm just taking my Wet n Wild shader brush and going to pick up some of the product, and then I'm going to spray it with my Wet n Wild PhotoFocus spray. I just find that this really helps pack a punch with this pigment, and it really helps to make it adhere and appear as shimmery as possible. So I'm just putting this all over the lid. Now I'm going to use the other side of the brush and dip into this more rose gold shade right here. And I'm going to use this to blend the pink into the deeper area. So this is going to go more on the outer half of my eye. So now as you can see, we lost some of that deeper shade. So I'm just going to go back into that deep purple and really intensify that. So now that both of the eyes are pretty similar, I am going to go ahead and apply some mascara and lashes off camera, and then I'll be back to work on the face. Okay, so I'm going to start off on my face by using the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus Face Primer. This is what it looks like. It's just a little tube, and I haven't tried this before. I've tried the Cover All Primer, which I've heard is the same thing as this, and I really liked that. So I'm interested to see if this is the same formula or better. It feels very moisturizing, almost like a lotion, not a silicone-based primer or really mattifying, so it feels really nice so far. Next, I'm going to use the PhotoFocus foundation. I have mine in the shade Golden Beige, and I love this foundation. I have been using it non-stop ever since I got it a couple of months ago, and I think that it is just a really great foundation for combination to oily skin or even dry skin. It's not super mattifying. It has more of a demi-matte finish. Okay, so now that I have my foundation done, I'm going to move on to concealer, and I'm going to be using the PhotoFocus concealer. I have mine in the shade Light Medium Beige, and I also have the shade Light Ivory. I think Light Medium Beige fits me pretty well. The only thing is sometimes it's not as highlighting as I would like, so I mix in the Light Ivory as well. Once again, taking my L'Oreal sponge, I'm just going to blend that out. Now I'm going to be using a cream contour and highlight today, so I'm not going to set my under eye just yet because I want to use all the cream and liquid products first. So I'm going in with the Mega Cushion Contour, and this is in the shade Café Au Slay. This is just a great contouring product. It comes with a little sponge like this. I don't use this just because this is too big for my face. It just looks like this. And I just take my Real Techniques contour brush and just dip in here very lightly. You do not need a lot of product. And I just use this to cream contour. So as you can see, that just gives a very beautiful but natural contour to your skin. Now I'm going to add a little bit of a cream highlight. This is the MegaGlo Multi-Stick in the shade Marigold Round. It looks like this, and this is just a great sort of neutral champagne shade. I really like this, so what I'm going to do with this is I'll just take a little bit on my finger and just tap this onto my skin. Now I'm going to take my sponge and blend that out. I'm also going to take a little bit of this and apply it to my Cupid's bow. So now I'm just going to take my sponge and make sure that there are no creases under my eyes, and then I'm going to set them with the Wet n Wild pressed powder from the PhotoFocus line. Mine is in the shade Warm Beige, and I'm just going to be using a Morphe Y11 brush. Now I'm also going to take that same powder and set my face with a Real Techniques powder brush. Okay, and since I want my under eyes to be a little bit more highlighted, I'm going to go in with the highlighting side of the contour duo in the shade Caramel Toffee. I have depotted mine, so it comes in a trio with a bronzer and highlight, and this shade is really good for brightening up under the eyes. Moving on, now that my face is completely set, it's looking a little bit dull and colorless, so I'm going to go in with the contouring shade from that same duo, and I'm going to use this to bronze up my skin. So now to just add a little bit of color, I'm going to go in with the blush in Rosé Champagne. Mine, once again, is depotted, but this is just a great neutral tone blush. It's a little bit mauve-y, so it'll go perfect with this eye look. And finally, just to finish up the face, I'm going to be going in with the highlighter in Precious Petals. This is by far my favorite powder at the drugstore. It is just very, very reflective and a beautiful shade to highlight with. So I'm just going to add this to the tops of my cheekbones and my Cupid's bow. So now that the face is done, I'm going to jump back up to my lower lash line to finish my eyes. So I'm going to go in with that original transition shade right here. And I'm just going to use that on a Sigma E45, just a small blending brush. I'm just going to run this underneath my lash line. Now I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques accent brush. And this is very, very small. I'm just going to use this with the deep purple shade and really pack that along my lash line. I'm just going to highlight my brow bone with the lightest matte shade in the palette right here. Finally, I'm just going to take a small brush. This is actually my Salon Perfect eyebrow brush, but I'm just going to use this end of it and dip into this light shimmery shade right here and use that as my inner corner highlight. Now I'm just going to spray my face with the PhotoFocus setting spray just to lock everything in place. And to finish off the look, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in the shade Bear to Comment. And finally, I'm going to use the MegaLast Liquid Catsuit Lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose. Okay guys, so that completes this full face of Wet n Wild makeup look. I had so much fun creating this and getting to play around with this all Naturel palette. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.